Hello and welcome to Simply Simmons. I'm Deandra Simmons, and today I'm going to be making a very special cookie that was given to me by my friend Stephanie Gardella, who also happens to work at Ultimate Living in Hard Knockin' Morning. So if you ever call in or email and she responds, that's Stephanie. She used to own a little restaurant in Washington, and she gave me the recipe for her Bigfoot cookie. And I changed up a little bit to make it my own, but the ingredients are amazing. And before I start, I'll have all the ingredients and the measurements listed on the screen, so that way you'll know exactly how much of everything I'm putting in. We're gonna start with my quick cooking oatmeal. You can use Quaker, you can use whatever brand. I use something like I was at the specialty store, I used, I think, an organic oatmeal. And then we're going to incorporate our flour into our oatmeal. And I always like in my desserts, even though I'm more of a savory cook, I just find that using some kind of salt in my desserts just makes them taste so much better. So I typically always add salt, even if it's not in the recipe for the sweet. So I just put a teaspoon of salt in here. That's my own addition. And then I have the baking soda as well. And like I said, you'll see all that. So those are my dry ingredients that we're going to mix together in this bowl. Okay, so that's done. Now, next step is we're gonna put in the wet ingredients. And here I am with my KitchenAid mixer. And first thing is going to be the butter. Now, always make sure that your butter is at room temperature. Mine's been sitting out pretty much all day. And so it's ready to go, as you can see. And then also the eggs. I always leave my eggs out for room temperature for my recipes as well. And they just do much better that way. So there's my butter. I can use my hands because they're clean. Next, I'm going to incorporate my granulated sugar. We have got my brown sugar. And last but not least, for my recipe is I'm going to use my 2 teaspoons of vanilla, because remember, Deandra doubles the vanilla, and that's how I'm going to change up this recipe in addition to adding the salt. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, and if it's a little more, who cares? I love vanilla. Vanilla? Did you hear that? Vanilla makes everything better. Okay, so let me put on the paddle here. Give me a few minutes. I don't have my glasses on, people. Bear with me. Oh, Lord, help me. Help me, Jesus. Let me get this on. Okay, here we go. Now, make sure it's locked. Because remember the Vitamix issue. Sometimes I've had some issues with my KitchenAid mixer if I don't lock it. Okay, we are going to blend that all together. Okay, while we're creaming, so this is called creaming. We're creaming our butter and our sugars and our vanilla right now to get that all incorporated. And as soon as that's done, I'm then going to add my next ingredient, which is a little wet. It's my peanut butter. Now, here is my peanut butter. And I'm gonna add this. Let me go over here and put this in. This will be the next step. Okay, so there's the peanut butter. Now, of course, I'm making kind of a mess, but that's okay. It's cookie making day. That back in. Okay, let's incorporate the peanut butter. So that is incorporated for right now. Now, next step is we're going to add our room temperature eggs. There are 3 eggs, 1 at a time. Okay, 1, oops, 2, 3, okay. Whoa, okay. Okay, I've got my 3 eggs in there. That's why it's Simply Simmons. It's simply ridiculous half the time, but you know what? It seems to work all the time. Okay, so we've got our eggs, our peanut butter, our sugars, everything's incorporated now. The next step is going to be to add our dry ingredients. Okay, now I'm gonna add my dry ingredients. I was just laughing. I mean, I am not a sweets person. I mean, as far as I don't make sweets, I don't bake at home. I do, but this is not my forte. I mean, I'll do it and it tastes fine. It tastes good, actually. But when I get with the mixer and the ingredients, I get all haywire a little bit. So, you know, always something happens. Okay, Still adding at 1 spoon at a time my dry ingredients. Just continue doing that until it's all in there. So we're almost done putting the dry ingredients. It's really important though, you do it slowly, incorporate it slowly, because you don't want to just dump it all in there. You want to make sure that it incorporates in the right fashion. And if you just dump it all in there, sometimes it doesn't get mixed up very well. Okay, now this is getting full. So let's stop this. Okay. Yeah, see, this makes a lot of cookies. So we only have 2 more things left to put in there. And that is going to be our chocolate chips and our walnuts. And I'm wondering if they're going to fit in this thing, actually. I'm going to go ahead and just put these in a little at a time and then mix up and then come back and put more in. Actually, I'll put half in right now. How's that? Okay. Let's put half in. Woo! Okay. Slowly mix that around because it's going to come out of the top. I could have used that little thing, whatever it's called, that goes on the side, but why? It doesn't matter. Now, the rest of them, here you go. And I'll probably take this out and then work it a little bit more with my hands, but I want to mix it in the mixer first. Make sure it gets in there really well. Oh, okay, that's heavy. I need that industrial size mixer, okay? Now, the last thing would be, we have some chopped walnuts here, and that's gonna be the last little bit to make it a little bit more crunchy. Okay, so very last thing in there. I don't know if you guys saw Real Housewives of Dallas the last season, which was season 5, but we made a little jaunt up to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and we were searching for Bigfoot with Charles. That was pretty funny, actually. We had a good time doing that. So I wonder if I had made these Bigfoot cookies, if Bigfoot would have come around and shown himself. Probably. Okay, I've just finished adding all the ingredients for my Bigfoot cookie. So now I'm gonna take this paddle off and I'm gonna put it in a bigger bowl because there's a lot of ingredients in this. Maybe I'm not. Shouldn't. Because it's quite a bit of ingredients. And I want to make sure that I incorporate the rest of it with my hands if I don't eat it. Oh my Lord. I mean, this doesn't even need to be cooked, to be honest with you. It's so good. In fact, Isella, who is working with me today, she's like, oh my God, when you added the vanilla and the sugar, it smells so good, and the chocolate. So I just encourage you in the kitchen, if you have clean hands, work with your hands. I mean, when I'm making doughs and breads, cookies, things like that, I don't need to hold a spatula every time because sometimes my hands can really mix things up very, very well. And in this case, that's definitely true. Here's my batter now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start scooping it out and putting it in the oven, and we're gonna bake it at 350 for around 10 minutes. Okay, so I have all the cookies lined up on my Silpat. They're ready to go, and we are going to move them to the oven. And I like to use a Silpat because all the cookies are the same size, uniform, and they're gonna bake evenly. They're all lined up so pretty. Put them on the top shelf, 350. We'll check them in 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, so my Bigfoot cookies are out of the oven. They look amazing. And now it's time to put them on a cooling rack and let them cool for a few minutes before I serve them to my family. And trust me, they will be gone in no time. Okay. There you have it after they cool. This is my Bigfoot cookie, and you will not want to miss this. It's a treat for the whole family. It's delicious, it's fun, and it's a very unique recipe. So try it.
What'd you make today?
Just in time, I have a new cookie for you to try.
When are we going to do my show?
Well, what would that show be?
It's called Technically Jeremy. In today's edition, we're going to teach you how to open a beer can.
Technically Jeremy?
Technically Jeremy. It's very technical to open it.
That won't work with me because I have nails. I would lose a nail in the beer probably.
You open
beer
a
and
beer,
cookies?
have a cookie.
Oh my God, help me. I was gonna get all over your shirt right now. Oh well.
And on Technically Jeremy, because I drink beer cans and eat cookies and my wife's food on Simply Simmons, I keep getting Simply Fatter.